Russian blues reveal effects of language on color discrimination. The question of cross-linguistic differences in color perception has a long and venerable history and has been a cornerstone issue in the debate on whether and how much language shapes thinking. Previous studies have found cross-linguistic differences in subjective color similarity judgments and color confusibility in memory. For example, if two colors are called by the same name in a language, speakers of that language will judge the two colors to be more similar and will be more likely to confuse them in memory compared with people whose language assigns different names to the two colors. English and Russian color terms divide the color spectrum differently. Unlike English, Russian makes an obligatory distinction between lighter blues, goluboy, and darker blues, sini. Does this difference between languages lead to differences in how people discriminate colors? 26 native Russian speakers and 24 native English speakers were the participants in this study. Subjects were shown a triad of color squares. One of the colors presented on the bottom was physically identical to the top color square. The blue color stimuli spanning between darker and lighter blues on the top were used. Subjects were asked to indicate which of the bottom squares matched the top square by pressing a key on the right or the left side of the keyboard. Testing was done in a quiet, darkened room. Russian speakers showed a category advantage when tested without interference, whereas English speakers did not, as you can see in Figure 2. The category advantage found for Russian speakers was disrupted by verbal, but not spatial interference. English speakers did not show a category advantage in any of these conditions. Further, the effect of language were most pronounced for more difficult discriminations. For example, the near color comparisons, as you can see in Figure 3. This effect was reflected in a separate 2x3x2 repeated measures ANOVAs calculated for each language group. The findings were that the Russian speakers were faster to discriminate two colors if they fell into two different linguistic categories, and if from the same category. English speakers did not show a category advantage under any of the conditions. Limitations to this study could include the fact that only the blue hues were tested, so it is unknown whether there is a difference across all colors. Color selection was not required to be done within a specific time limit. In conclusion, color discrimination performance differs across language groups as a function of what perceptual distinctions are habitually made in a particular language. These results demonstrate that 1. Categories in language affect performance on simple perceptual color tasks, and 2. The effect of language is online and can be disrupted by verbal interference.